it's crazy. Everybody like, whoa, let the Molly music, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know I made it yet, but folks act like that, you know. Hey, I'm so glad the song blessed you. Yeah, you and God bless you. But I'm really wondering what you see when you lay eyes on me. Don't you see my shoes? The clothes on my back. Do you see my swag? Then you look in the flesh. When I walk in the spirit, I lift in the key. It's in my mood, and that's my very deep. You and the reason why you can't see me. Trying to figure out what it is about me. I got the light, I got the light, I got the light, I got the light. Stop trying to figure me out. Ain't me all about y'all. And the light don't stop. I got the light, I got the light, I got the light, I got the light. Please. Don't need an introduction. Don't want an introduction. Because with an introduction, you have the tendency to get sucked in to what you're about to hear, to what you're about to see, what I'm about to do, but it ain't about me. When I sing or when I speak, people don't listen to me. Just hear what God is trying to reveal to you. Through my lyrics, through my melodies. What it is about me. I got the light, I got the light, I got the light, I got the light. Stop trying to figure me out. Ain't me all about God. And the light goes up, boy. I got the light, I got the light, I got the light, I got the light. Please. Yeah. Thank God. Woo. I got that thing. I got the light, yo. I got the light.
WDDO, W300EB, Macon, Perry, 107.9 FM and 980 AM. The Glory.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwenette, Westbrooks, and Mr. Dumas.
And good evening and welcome to another segment of the NAACP Truth Show. I'm Willie Dumas, your host. President Westbrooks may be joining us later, but with her new position, she's got a lot going on. But we're fortunate today to have with us State Representative Dale Washburn, who's been on the show previously. As you know, he had introduced some local legislation regarding the cameras here that will be starting back up pretty soon because the kids' school will be back in session. And of course, some of the issues that many people have talked about regarding the cameras will once again probably be a topic of discussion. And first of all, I want to say welcome to you.
Well, thank you, sir. Glad to be back with you.
Absolutely. We know that Christmas has just passed us by, and hopefully you had a Merry Christmas.
We did. We were blessed with a good Christmas.
Absolutely. And I have to say the same thing. It seems that we were on the beach pretty much during the Christmas holidays with beach type weather.
Yeah.
But I think that changed up a little bit today. And so
it is rapidly changing outside.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be building a fire tonight.
There you go. There you go. I hear the temp's going to drop maybe in the 20s. So that's a cold spot when it comes to Georgia. Well, let's talk a little bit about the session. You guys are going into session, and when does that begin?
That will begin on January 12th, which is 2 weeks from today, actually. I was thinking about it last night. It's right on us. We will be beginning 2 weeks from today on January 12th.
Wow. And so you've had a little break, a little time to kind of be with family and those kinds of things, which is always good, over the holidays, get some family time.
Right.
But I'm sure you're going to be pulling up your sleeves here and putting some things together. And these cameras, I'm sure, is on the forefront. And so tell us a little bit about, where things have gone with that and where we're going to be headed in 2026.
Well, delighted to be with you and delighted to talk about the cameras again. We finished the session, and just as a reminder and a refresher, we had two bills that came out of the House. One was what I call a fix-it bill to try to regulate the camera systems more. My bill was a bill that called for us to ban them, to undo the law that allows these cameras to operate in Georgia. And so my bill was to ban them. I had 100 co-signers. I had 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. So it was bipartisan. And it could have been, I could have had even more signatures. I finally just ran out of space on the bill and didn't run out of time, but decided I wanted to get the bill dropped. So we had broad support for banning the cameras in Georgia, and my bill had more co-signers than the other bill did. Passed out of the House, got to the Senate, and the Senate did 2 committee substitutes on both bills. On my bill, they allowed them to be banned, but they allowed them to continue to operate for 3 years, which I disliked that intensely for 2 reasons. One is letting them continue to operate for 3 years means millions, literally millions of dollars across Georgia,
right,
taken out of Georgians' pockets. The other reason I didn't like it is 3 years is a long time. There would have been plenty of time to come back and alter that even to extend it further. So we were unable to do anything further with it. Sine die ended without my bill getting called to the well. Now, the other bill did get called to the well. He amended it some, and it's being sent back to the Senate. But I'll get into what my plan is from here whenever you'd like to. But that's where we are, is that in a 2-year session, the bill's not dead. It has passed out of the House. It's been amended or a substitute done by a committee in the Senate and sent back to the House. So that's where it lays right now.
Okay. And so would there be any changes as far as you're concerned, as far as what you initially started with?
My thinking about it is, first of all, for everyone to understand, there are 3 things that can happen when a bill is sent back like that and changed that way. First of all, you can go to the well, and first of all, you have to get the speaker to allow you to go to the well to do it. But you can go to the well and move to agree. And you're moving to agree with the Senate's change, and then the House will vote one way or the other about that. Second thing you can do is move to disagree, where you just move to reject their proposal, and then that will be voted on by the House and sent back. The third way is to move that the bill be passed as amended by the House. And I am leaning very heavily toward trying to do that. And my amendment will be that each community would be required to have a local referendum to either implement the cameras or to continue the cameras. These camera contracts are usually a year at the time, I think. And so my bill would amend my bill, not to ban them, but to require that each community that has them, in order to put them in, they have to have a public referendum with the people voting to do it, or to even continue them. When it's time to extend the contract, they have to go to the people for a local referendum to do it. My personal belief is that these cameras are disliked intensely by everybody. There's a rare person I hear from that does not really dislike them, and they dislike them with good reason, because they're dishonest and they're deceptive, and they're taking a lot of money out of Georgians' pockets who are not speeding through school zones, endangering the lives of children. And as we often say, children's safety is extremely important.
Absolutely.
But this was a solution looking for a problem. There were thankfully no cases of kids being endangered by this that we're aware of. And often these cameras are set up somewhere where there are no kids walking anyway. So my plan as we speak is to go back and ask leadership to allow me to go to the well and move for that amendment. And then we'll see where that goes.
And if you're able to do that, how soon would these referendums be implemented, or would that be on a certain schedule? Or
well, the bill I made when I had it drafted, I've already had the amendment drafted, and I specified that it had to be at a regular election day, and did not want it to be that any community could just set some special election where nobody would even know about it and not show up.
Right.
So I specified that it had to be on regular election. And so I believe I'd be correct that if we got this passed and if the governor signed it, I think that it would be on the election next November, the gubernatorial election, and all the other elections, of course, down the line. But the race in which the governor's elected, the United States Senate's elected, all the legislative seats, a regular November election day.
Absolutely. And I know you attended some of the town hall meetings we've had here locally, and one of the residents, brought up the fact, about the safety concerns. And as you mentioned, a lot of times, in these particular areas, children aren't crossing the street. You don't actually see that.
Right.
And so
I think that is exactly correct. My personal view is it is not about safety. I had a sheriff from Butts County actually come and testify when I presented my bill to the Senate committee. And the sheriff testified that he'd had 2 camera companies come see him. They never mentioned children's safety. What they do mention is, Sheriff, if you'll let us put these systems in, we'll hand you $1 to $2 million. That's what they told me.
Wow.
So many times across Georgia, our local officials are seeing this as what it is, which is a money grab. And I will say one of the things I like about the referendum idea, there could be some communities where and I'm sure there are, not that many, but a few communities where they see the cameras as a force multiplier that helps control traffic speed. In those communities, those people will be willing to vote yes. And so this lets them choose and verify the need for them. So many times there are no kids walking anywhere. A lot of times these schools are several hundred feet off the road where the cameras are. And so we think this is a good compromise. Now, there's one other thing I would like to mention to your listeners. We all need to be aware. This law that allows these cameras is a statewide law, but these decisions are made locally. And here in Bibb County, the mayor and the commissioners voted to put these cameras in. And they need to hear from our citizens who dislike them. So one of the things I found is our people that call me complaining about them they're not aware of that.
Right.
And so they're very upset. They are looking for something to be done, but they're not aware that actually these cameras don't have to be operating in Bibb County.
Wow.
And I have publicly called on the mayor and the commissioners to do away with them in Bibb County. They are victimizing our people. And I will call on them again today publicly. Please, in this contract, do away with these cameras and protect our people and other people who drive from outside Bibb County into Bibb County to shop and to see doctors and to do other things. They're being victimized by these cameras. This is incorrect. It should not be. It is not right to be taking that money out of the pockets of our people.
So it could be a really quick solve type situation if enough pressure is put on the individuals to ban or do away with those, because the fines aren't that cheap either.
They are not that cheap. I have said this many times. I have had one of those tickets, and I got it on Bible Avenue, and I was my ticket that I received, I was running 41 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Fine was $100.
Wow.
Now, I don't say this to brag, but I'm blessed that I could afford to pay that $100 without it crippling me financially. But there's a lot of good people out there who are trying to feed their families, who work hard every day, who $100 is a big deal
Absolutely.
to them. And that is one of the things that outrages me the most about this, is it is victimizing our poor people. And otherwise it's just unfair, but especially on our poor people, on our old people. I've had 2 older ladies call me recently and say, you know, I was out near Macon State College and I didn't know I was running that fast. These are older ladies
Wow.
in their 80s.
Wow.
That $100 fine is a big deal to them.
Absolutely. And has there been any statistics given as far as the amount of money raised since these cameras have been in effect?
Well, we had some Atlanta television stations do some excellent investigative work, and in the spring of 23, their documentation was that there had been over $200 million in fines.
Wow.
And another thing that's very significant at that time, because of the percentage the camera companies take, they had put more than $50 million in their corporate pockets in the spring of 2023.
Wow.
That's nearly 2 years ago. So there is no question that it is a huge amount of money. And that's why they are fighting so hard and giving the contributions they are giving to try to keep these cameras from being done away with.
And it would seem the legislation that you want to put in place is a more fair type of representation, as far as not completely banning, but giving the option for areas that may be concerned with certain safety issues to have a voice to say, hey, we want them. There may be other places that don't want them.
That's right.
And so they have that opportunity to express that.
Right. And I'm the more I have thought about it, I like the compromise. I like the proposal for that very reason. When I introduced the bill, I was invited to come over to Decatur in Metro Atlanta. And I made a trip over there, and the folks were so kind to me. The mayor and the commissioners or city council there met me. They walked me around. They showed me that in Decatur's a small community land area wise, and Decatur does have 3 schools that are in a very small area. And there are a lot of kids that walk to school there, and I saw them that day. And so Decatur in particular, it bothered me about the ban because of what they had to say and what they had to show me. So one reason I like the compromise is Decatur their people can vote to keep the cameras.
Right.
And if they're being used effectively as a force multiplier there, then they can certainly still keep them. I believe that if you think it through, if these decisions are made by local government to put the cameras in, well, then why not let the local people decide whether or not the people want them?
Right.
And I think it's a very good plan and a very good idea. My plan is to try to get an audience with the lieutenant governor soon and ask him that if I can send that bill back out of the House over to the Senate like that, ask him how he would feel about that. And of course, obviously, I'm going to go see the Speaker of the House as well to ask the Speaker to allow me to go to the well to move for this amendment. But my thinking about that is we need to know what the Senate's going to do with it before we send it back over there.
Right.
So I'm just trying to see the folks that have the power to see if it's a reasonable idea
and try to get a feel of their position
right
with that.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, the cameras are definitely going to be on, I guess, in the next couple of days.
We should give some credit here to Sheriff David Davis about this, because Sheriff Davis suspended the use of the cameras when I introduced my bill, and there began to be a lot of controversy about this. Sheriff Davis suspended the use of the cameras, and then he started them up again, but with limitations. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. The lights must be flashing. And so Sheriff Davis made some needed improvements in them. And so they are certainly operating better than they used to. But even so, I'm still getting a lot of phone calls about them. And I still believe a good solution would be, what I really wish is the mayor and the commission would just take them out.
Because they could do that.
Because they could do that, and that would be protection of our people here, and that would at least protect our folks in Bibb County. Actually, now Houston County has put the cameras in. They're operating them now, but Houston County and Bibb County are the only two counties in middle Georgia that I'm aware of. Well, I'm sorry, I believe Baldwin County has them as well. And so my prediction is if we don't do something about them, more and more communities will put them in because the lure of that much money is just too great. Because, see, the camera companies will put the systems in at no cost.
Wow.
They'll handle them. They'll issue the tickets. They'll collect the money. They take their share out of the money and then just send it to the city or the county or the school board. And that lure is too great. And it is interesting to me that our local governments tend to just overlook the plight of the people who are paying the deal to them.
Absolutely. And that can be concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning. I had something in the chat, but for some reason I kind of lost it. Somebody was inquiring of an email address or something, but we do. Let's see. Good afternoon, President Dumas and guests. Is there an email address I can send or number I can text concerns? I can assist. Thank you. Okay, that's something totally different than what we're discussing. But I certainly appreciate you coming on the air and letting the people know that the cameras are still, they're not forgotten. Because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, with the upcoming year, where does that stand, and where do you stand with those cameras? And so we certainly appreciate your efforts in looking out for the local citizens of Macon-Bibb as it relates to the cameras. And as you mentioned, it's not an issue of safety, but actually an issue of monies and fines. And there are enough other fines that people can incur, particularly in driving, particularly driving. And so that's just one less thing they would have to worry about if this gets to go through. And so we wish you Godspeed on your efforts, and hopefully the Senate will adopt these proposals and everything, and so we can move forward and maybe in November see it on the ballot and to decide if the citizens are in agreement. But as you mentioned, I'm sure there are many complaints that come across in regards to these cameras. I know President Westbrooks had a complaint in an area where she hadn't even entered really into the school zone, and these cameras had picked up, on her plates and stuff. And so there are probably a lot of glitches too that we don't hear about in regards to the cameras, because when it comes to technology and electronics, there can always be some glitches. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who may have received tickets that may not have been worthy of receiving those. But we certainly thank you for your efforts, and thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor to be with you, President Dumas. Always. You call me anytime. Always honored to be on your program.
Absolutely. We thank you for coming. And I know you're a busy man, and you got a busy schedule. And so we thank you for taking out the time to come on the show.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
Just a few things before we go off the air. The NAACP, we are continuing the effort here in Macon to make certain that certain topics and certain issues are looked upon and addressed. And so if you have a concern, feel free to contact us. And also, if you have a question, you can call us here at the radio station at 478-250-1444. Once again, that number is 478-250-1444. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear your comments about our broadcast. And you can even give some suggestions of different topics you would like to hear us talk about on the radio program. So we we would welcome all of those suggestions. And if you do have those, give us a call at the number again, 1-478-250-1444, the Glory Radio. And hope you are looking forward to a happy new year and a prosperous new year and a safe new year. One of the things we always talk about during this time of the year is safe and about. And also, don't drink too much of that stuff called alcohol, because we know that drinking and driving is not a good combination. And of course, if that does occur, there are certain laws in place for that. We also would like for you to join us at the NAACP. It's only $30 for adults and $10 for youth. The Macon Bibb NAACP, we always welcome your membership. We are always doing voters registrations, and so look for us at various locations. Throughout this upcoming year, we'll be setting up booths to register people to vote. A matter of fact, today is the day for early voting. Was the first day for early voting this special election. So we hope that you'll take advantage and get out and vote and let your voice be heard. We will continue our efforts, of course, of registering people for the upcoming midterm elections. And so the gubernatorial elections are coming up. So there's a lot going on in the year 2026, and you can be a part of it by continuing your efforts to make your voice heard by voting. We also will send kudos out to President Westbrooks. We gave her a reception. Our executive board gave her the reception over the holidays, and we had a wonderful time there celebrating her for her work in her effort as president of this organization for over 13 years. And we continue to support her at her newly elected position as state conference president. And it's going to be a very good thing to have her as state president, knowing what the local issues are here in Bibb County and having the connection with the state conference. And so we look forward to that work in the upcoming years. And we also would thank our executive board for all the hard work they've done in the past year. And we look forward to doing even greater things in 2026. And so all of you out there, our listening audience, we hope that you will continue to tune in and hear some of the concerns of the community and some of the things that we're concerned about here at the radio station. It says early voting has begun for the special election and for the state Senate race. It begins today and will continue through Friday, January the 16th, I believe. Is that the 16th or the 10th? My eyes are a little, I think it's the 16th. But make sure you take advantage of that. And Patrick Davis, we always appreciate you and the things you've done in regards to keeping us updated on various things as it relates to the NAACP. And we hope all our partners will continue to support us as well. There's a great work that has to be done in this community, and you're the biggest part of that as the listening audience. And so we thank you for all your help and everything that you've done in 2025. And as we move into 2026, we look for your continued support for this radio station and this particular broadcast. And so we thank you. We thank the owners of this radio program, the Glory FM, for all their support this past year. And we look forward to working with them even the more through the new year. And so until next time, until next week, I'm Willie Dumas, your host at the NAACP Truth Show, and we'll see you on next week. Thank you for tuning in.
You have been listening to the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwenette Westbrook and Mr. Dumas. Come join us next Monday at 4 o'clock p.m. on 980 WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.